There's a word in this first sentence that I don't like. Good Times, Bad Times, the Genesis. Led Zeppelin launch their discographical journey with a chord from Jimmy Page on electric guitar. And within seconds, the machine is running hot. The chord also announces the quartet's mission to write an explosive new chapter in the history of rock, continuing the work begun by Cream between '66 and '68. Good Times, Bad Times, initially called A Man I Know, was composed shortly before the start of the sessions for the group's first album, around the time the Yardbirds became the New Yardbirds. It's believed that they might have even played it live a couple of times, along with Your Time Is Gonna Come. However, other than the intro, which can be heard being performed at the Olympia in Paris, on this occasion attached to Communication Breakdown, there is no live recording of the song. What is certain is the fruit of a collaboration between Page, Jones and Bonham. The lyrics evoke the passing of time. The protagonist of the song remembers his past. I tried to do all those things the best I can, sings Robert Plant in the first verse, but he's forced to admit that there have been many dark periods. His woman left him for a brown-eyed man. Wasn't me. Don't start getting angry, Planty. I wasn't even born, mate. It only took a couple of days for his girlfriend to be rid of him. Bleak and lonely times, in other words. Bet he was down the pub, watching Wolves, drowning his sorrows in a pint. Poor Planty. This opening track on the first LP remained on Led Zeppelin's set lists until 1970. It was released as a single in the US, March 10th, '69, with Communication Breakdown as the B-side. What a tune. Now, whilst I have taught this song on YouTube in full a few years ago, as I get requested to teach it privately, I'll give the tab a once over, and with the ever advancing stem separating technologies, it allows me to hone in and isolate Page year on year more accurately. That's not the only thing I do. I have other hobbies, but yeah, some things I get wrong, and then I get pissed off, and then I correct them and I reteach them. And there's one lick in particular that I had something traditionally Page, one of his kind of like pentatonic rundowns, that kind of smattering. And it was that very last lick of the solo before it fades out. He obviously ran out of licks in the studio. They were like, well, let's listen to that last one. Oh no, I'll do, Jimmy. Better luck next time, pal. But yeah, the last lick is pretty good, actually. He's doing something like... That's the hidden one. We're not doing that one. It's the one before it. Now, when I listened to it, I was like, whoa, that's way more complicated than I thought. And it's worth teaching isolated because it's got like an unconventional jump in the middle of it. So it's this lick. Told you it was a badass. Now, there's a couple of things in it that make it uniquely Page. It's got a bit of a swing in it that I missed the first time, and then there's a jump towards the end of the descending run, and this very cool little whipping legato lick. At least that's what I think he's doing, because it is very buried. Very buried, not Mary Berry. Don't get those two confused. You don't want to be playing her on the guitar. Right, that was shit. I'm moving on. Breaking it down to sections, the first part goes like this. So you're going to start with a 14th fret bend on the G, then hit the 12 on the B. And now we've got a little pull off, 14 to 12 on the G. Come down to the D. And now I want you to do a double down and a flat third finger rolling over the 14th fret of the D and G. Then pick the 12 on the G, upstroke. And come down to the root note, the E, on the 14 on the D. That's the first bit that I didn't have right. It's got that kind of page swing, and I feel like it's matching like a Bonham drum fill, and he's been inspired by that. Next part goes like this. Follow me on the picking on this one, because it'll keep the picking hand relaxed. So upstroke the 12 on the D, and then pull off the 14 back to the 12 with a downstroke. Come down to the 14 on the A, back to the 12 on the D, and then 2 pull-offs, 14 to 12 on the A. And you can make them both downstrokes. If you watch the picking hand as you connect those first 2 parts together, it should just be very relaxed. Now we're going to jump from this position to this position. So third finger is now going to be hitting the 12th fret of the E, and our next lick goes like this. So it's a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs, starting on the 12th fret of the E, and then hammer-on pull-off, 10, 12, 10, on the A, come down to the 12 on the E, and then pull off hammer-on, so like the opposite of what you've just done. So you should pick down, up, down, back up to the 10 on the A, and then pull off the 12, 10 on the E, and come down to that A note, bit of vibrato, and then you can slide it down and out and pull off to an E, and you can kind of hit an E or an E5 power chord on an upstroke to get the same kind of resolution that you would if you were playing the rhythm guitar, right? So. Together, slow. And then fast. There you go. Very flashy page lick that I had wrong. And I'm happy to share it with you. If I've got it wrong again, we'll be here next year, won't we? Same time. I'll have to get on the phone to Jimmy. Is this how you do it or not? What do you mean you don't know? As if I'd hang up on Jimmy Page. I was doing an impression of it, he hung up on me. I hope he's not watching that. As if he's got time to watch me rambling on YouTube. No pun intended. Right, if you want the tab for that, it's the tab for the whole song corrected. I just snuck the extra lick in, tried to get away with it. But you can grab that on my Patreon, as well as many other things, musical things. And yeah, I would be appreciative of the support. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson. And don't forget to like, subscribe, bell next to it, leave me a comment below, tell me your thoughts, tell me how you're feeling. Anyway, I'm going. I'll catch you soon.